Okay, so let's get started. First, let's work on the 4 sections of the listening test. Of course, your listening test lasts for about 40 minutes, and there are 40 questions. Each question carries 1 mark, and there are 4 sections of the listening test. Each section has about 10 questions. Section 1 of the listening test is often a dialogue. And about 85% of the dialogue that you listen to in section 1 comes via telephone call, where someone would phone in either to make inquiries or lodge a complaint or report a situation. So during the dialogue, these are potential answers you should look out for. But first, let's understand what is a dialogue. What do you think a dialogue is?
You have 2 persons are discussing to have a common agreement.
Okay. So dialogues are conversations between 2 persons or 2 parties.
2 parties.
Now, here, during your section 1, you would, if name is required to be a part of your answers, you will see that on the question paper, it may be the number 1 answer. You see a name written and then dash beside it. The first name will be written, then the second name will not be written. But when the person calls, it will be required for the person to, or the person to give the full name. So when the person is given a full name, the person will begin from the one that is already written on the question, and I say the other name does not give it. Now when that name does not give it is said, if it is a popular English name, for instance, Robert, Michael, John, if they are popular English names, nobody will spell them. But if they are unpopular or they are non-English names, they will be spelled. During the spellings, there are letters you should look out for. A-E-I-R-W. A-E-I-R-W. These letters people always mistake by the native speakers. You might hear R.
What?
R.
R.
R. R. R. R. So it sounds like letter I. That's R. 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 People write it R instead of R. For instance, you must have written A, or you must have written I for Helen because of R. Now the next one is E. You will hear E. Please write it as E. When you hear this, it sounds R. 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 It's not O-I, it is I. When you hear this guy, we call it R here, but they call it R. R.
R.
R.
R.
It doesn't, the vibration doesn't come out. So you hear R. R. It is R.
No, this one is clearer than the A and E and R.
Are you heard?
Yeah.
Here,
I can identify R.
Okay.
But A, E, and I is still confusing.
R. R.
It's still confusing.
R. R. R.
I can identify R.
R. R. R. Then R. R. R.
Hey.
For R. For A, it is R. 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 When they say R, they draw.
Okay.
R. They draw.
Okay.
If it is I, you hear R.
R.
R. R.
Okay.
Like O-I.
Yeah.
Then this guy will give you W. People write U. You know, we have
sound the W.
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 W. W. It's different from letter U. So when you hear W, do not write U.
Twice.
It is the U that composes
the double. Okay, U. Hey, English.
So that's
double
what constitutes.
U.
We call it double.
Hey! No! No, I can't understand why the word is like that. It's double U. Okay, double U.
U put
Together.
U.
Double U English.
We call it W. It is still the same thing as pronouncing.
W.
But we now bring in that L-E, W.
U, yeah.
So when they don't do W,
Yeah, double
so they call it double U. So please, always look out for these guys. And there is another secret when an answer is being spelled. The secret is this. When a word is being spelled as the answer, after the spelling is completed, the receiver of the call that needs that will repeat that word, sometimes twice. The repetition is deliberate for you to look at what you spelled and
correct it. Yeah.
So please, always don't miss that answer for anything that
one is a bonus.
Is a bonus.
But this accent is what that will confuse somebody.
Then the pronunciation will also verify your spelling.
Okay.
Then the next thing is telephone.
That one is long as well.
Telephone is fast. The numbers are called out very fast. But you need to follow as the digits are being given.
But they won't repeat the telephone.
No.
They will just call it once.
But you must have seen that telephone number is required. So get prepared between number 0 to 9. That's what you do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, on the question paper, sometimes you would see that the first 4 digits of the cell phone number is written on the question paper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you notice that, please don't repeat those numbers again when you are writing on your answer. You are to continue from after the last digit.
Then that will not make a complete phone number.
You are still using the mathematical. They are going to copy what you are written to complete.
I'll fix it, okay.
So if you copy what is here and they copy and put.
To multiply the numbers.
That's the idea, that's the concept you should use.
Okay.
So please, if there are first 4 or first 3 or first 5 digits, all you need to do is listen attentively to see or observe if the person is repeating the same digits on. Alright. Date of birth, we treated that.
Yeah.
The bracket 3, don't forget.
That's okay.
No need.
No needs. Okay.
It's not required. Just the month and
But
the date.
if they mention it, income.
Don't write it. Just
Because
the month.
the instruction has been given.
Yes.
Not more than
one word in most cases. Where date of birth appears, section 1.
Yeah.
Mostly it's just one word answer. Section 1, most times. One word answer. Okay, address. On your question paper, you will also notice that the address is written.
Yeah.
But in between the address, there will be an omission. So it could be the code, street name, or street number. So what you need to do is to listen and write whatever that is said on the order. Nationality. You need to also know different nationalities. You need to know how to spell the different nationalities of countries in the world. Because nobody spells nationality, no matter the country.
Nigerian and Nigerian. Nigerian and Nigerian.
Nigerian and Nigerian. Nigerian and Nigerian.
Ghanaian and Togolese.
Uh-huh. So what's the difference between Nigerian and Nigerian?
The first one, we are the one. The next one is people of Nigeria.
How do we spell Nigerian?
Well, Niger. Nigeria. Then I-E-N.
Please, write.
Okay, let's spell Nigeria. Let us write Nigeria first. N-I-G-E-R-I-A. G-E-R-I-A. So in the other one now, instead of A, E is in their own.
Alright, correct. So that's the difference.
Yeah.
A person from Togo,
Togolese.
a person from Senegal,
Senegalese.
a person from Chad,
Chadian.
a person from Cameroon,
Cameroonian.
a person from Ivory Coast,
Ivorian.
a person from Cote d'Ivoire.
Tell me that one. It's not
still
good.
Ivorian.
Ivorian, okay.
Cote d'Ivoire is the French version.
Okay.
Ivory Coast is the English version.
Okay.
A person from Kenya,
He's a Kenyan.
a person from Ethiopia,
Ethiopian.
a person from Burkina Faso,
Burkina.
a person from Egypt,
Egyptian.
a person from the USA,
American.
a person from the UK,
British.
a person from
What amazes you? Hello, Chairman. Hello? Hello? Hello, if you can hear me, I'm in a class. I'll call you back later. Please. Okay, it's all right, thank you. Okay, why did you laugh? Jericho is not a country.
I wanted to test whether you call it Jericho.
But it's not a country.
Yes. Okay, so let's continue. So it is important you know those nationalities and their spellings. In IELTS, if nationality is required to be
The rest, what are they?
well, I'll record it. I will not spell anything.
It's all right.
Okay, they will go resolve their problem.
Okay, thank you.
Now, you may also get to hear or see or read a question that requires the caller to express his or her interest. Why is the person calling? Is it to take up a temporary job? Is it for accommodation? Is it for admission into a particular school? Is it to take part in an excursion? Or is it to be a tour guide? Whatever it is, the person will express his or her interest. Then, what's the cost? If it's a temporary job, is there any financial implication or stipend that is to be paid? Will they be given any form of remuneration? They will establish that. If it's about transport schedule, they want to know the cost at different schedules. If it's about accommodation, they talk about the cost, whatever it is. Then time or period. What are the different times according to what the person is making inquiries for? So you have to listen attentively and provide the information. Then the person wants to take part or a job role in the past.
If he wants to be a top,
Someone that will take people around.
okay.
Someone that is very much familiar. A tour guide.
Tourist, okay, tall guy.
Tour guide. Then, what's the quantity? It may require to talk to people, maybe that to participate in the program or whatever it is. You don't just talk to yourself. So you are so quite when you are talking to yourself. But if it's a monologue, there must be audience. A presentation or giving a talk to a people. Now, during such expression or such sections, nouns. These nouns here could be name of a person, renowned researcher and inventor. It could also be the name of an environment, a location where something was first founded or recorded or experienced. It could be the name of so whatever it is, the most expressing the name of whatever situation that you want to talk about. Then location, where exactly Where was that thing recorded? And what is it actually about the situation? What is it? What is it? Something that is epidemic? Is it something that is harmful? So they will talk about it and give some characteristics or features of that thing. And then, what year? Is it? So they will talk if it's part of the answer. Or how long will it last? Duration. Affected by such outbreak. But how many people will benefit from whatever thing that is being talked about? Maybe it's a government project. So they talk about the number. What is the cost implication? It will talk about the cost. If it is a trip, it will talk about the cost. If it is an innovation for people to obtain or have made their answer. What led to it? What led to that particular thing? Maybe invention, an outbreak, or situation, or benefit. Now, what's the effect? Effect of that thing, either to the person or plans or maps. This is one of the listening things that gives a lot of people map reading. On every map, what we call the compass, cardinal points. Now, points. The cardinal points may not be labeled on the map. It's better that you should place these cardinal points on the map yourself. Just in front of you. Where would you consider to be the north?
The top.
Then the south. Then the right.
East.
And
your left.
Perfect. Now, that you should not forget is that audio will always tell you the starting point. On the map, audio will tell you where to enter from, where to come in from. So if the audio says to build for students to have a time out after a day's passo, you are by going in through the main entrance on the north. And as you walk, before you get to the center of the park, take a right turn. When you take a right turn, where are you faced?
The east. Right. When you go south.
When you come in to locate a summer cafe for those of a cup of coffee, you are advised to come and go southward, but just before you get right turn, where are you faced?
To the west.
The west.
Yeah.
How?
If you are coming from the north, just as in this drive, you take your right turn. You are going to the west.
Fine. The reason for that is because you are no longer entering from your
direction.
So you have moved. So you are not facing one direction, is southward. So your right will take you to the east. And not be static. Because the east was you coming from your position.
Yeah.
But now you've understood that you have moved away from that position.
Yeah. Follow his own.
This one presents people miss their way in map reading. Then another, avoid the use of your eyes alone to follow the tracks. Because on every map there are different locations that your eyes will come across while you are tracking. So you may likely get distracted by some spots. But if you are doing finger pointing or using your pen to follow the directions of the audio, then you are safer. are safer to locate the right places. So identify the north, south, east, and west. Identify the fact that you need to always be flexible. Follow where the audio says you should come in from, and that makes your position change. Then also be as fast as using your fingers or your pen to follow the directions. If you use your eyes alone, you get lost because map reading is usually very fast. Okay, now MCQs, multiple choice questions. This is all about those sections of your listening test that comes with or that come with ABCs. In listening tests, normally anyone would expect that the audio would only talk about the right answers and not talk about the wrong ones, right? But ironically, the audio will talk about all of them. So when you are fast to pick your answer because the audio had just started with A, you didn't realize that it will go through all. And you hear the information on the A and you pick it. By the time you try to complete writing A, you start hearing the information on the option B. The confusion will set in. And by the time it finishes the B, it will start talking about the option C. So at this point, you don't even know which one to pick. Now, the right thing to do is read the question. The question will be specific on what you should select as the right answer. For instance, question might say, when was it first founded? Maybe at some point it was discovered but it wasn't taken seriously. Then they forgot about it. Until maybe some foreigners found it again and then everyone took it seriously.
Just as they will tell us the fact discovered in Niger that we the indigenous have been making use of.
Well, we didn't know about it. So, for you, you need to read the question to know the exact thing you are expected to pick as your answer. So, if it says when was it first founded? It is the first time that it wasn't taken seriously. As long as the information, the date is given, that's the right answer. I tell you where it was first founded, but it wasn't really recognized then because the place wasn't developed. After a very long time, some, what do you call those guys that come in to make research? Now, bomb.
There is the first one.
The first.
It's just if we want to say the first Europeans to visit.
Not the Americans.
Not the British.
Not the British, right?
It is the Portuguese.
So
they came in 14th century. And they took the son of the Oba of Benin to that place. That man schooled after schooling. We say they are our colonial masters. And the name Lagos is a town, a city, their own location. That's why Lagos, we have Lagos today. That name is in the Portuguese, is a Portuguese description, not.
So that's the issue. So you need to listen attentively and choose the right answer. But there are situations where the audio will say, pick any three correct answer from the list of options lettered A to E or A to G. Pick any three correct answer from the list of options lettered A. The third answer can be G. But if the instruction says pick two correct letters or two correct answers, pick the two correct answers from the list of options lettered A to D. That means the answer should come in order. You understand the difference? Yes, specifically. There's a difference. Pick two correct answers from the list of options lettered A to D. It means orderly arrangement. Any three correct answers from the list of options lettered A to G can be
scattered.
So that's how to go about this. Now let's look at section 3. Now section 3 is about group discussion. Group discussion right here talks about different things, but mostly on academic related issues. But sections 1 and 2 are usually about social life.
Social life, not on research.
Not on research.
I mean the second one is not on research.
On this guy?
Yeah.
No. Social life.
2 of them.
Yes. So, but sections 3 and 4 are always talking about academic related issues. So, section 3, for instance, this would talk about maybe students looking into a project they are to execute or present, or a survey or questionnaire they are to carry out, or it's about academia discussing a particular discovery or research or finding they want to go into. Now, what are the names of the discussants? These are the people that we're discussing in the course of the audio. Now, when the audio opens up, it may give their names. But if it doesn't give their names, then when the audio begins, when the three people begin to discuss, they would exchange pleasantries and address each other by the name. Hi, Jenny. Hello, Mara. Exchange pleasantries and give their names. But if the audio is to present them and their names, you will hear section 3, you will hear a group discussion between 3 students, Jane, Mary, and Pat, talking about their. Now, no answer would require you to give the name as an answer, no. But as we progress, you see the need for this. You also get to hear about their issue of discussion, what they have gathered to talk about. So it's important. Then target audience. Who are they looking to make their presentations to? Or who are they looking to get their information from? If they want to conduct a survey or questionnaire, they have a particular age limit or age bracket of people they would like to meet, because maybe those people are well exposed to give them the information they are seeking. So those people are their target audience. Now, where will they meet them? That's the location. Or where will they present whatever thing they are putting together? And what time is best to go there and meet such people? Right? Then, how many people should we interview? What is it? How many people? Then, what led to the project we are doing? Why is it important? And what impact will it make in our project or in our final year exam? Now, individual view. The question might require you to identify what a particular person feels about someone or something as they're discussing. This is the names you got from the beginning will help you to identify who the person is. Then unanimous view, collective idea, what they have collectively or unanimously agreed upon. Then solution, how will they present it at the end of the day, or how will they save it at the end of the day, or how will they carry out the whole thing at the end of the day. Now let's look at section 4. For section 4, you are expected to reserve enough energy for section 4, because most test takers get bored and tired out once they go through sections 1, 2, and 3. Whereas section 4 is giving you the questions back to back. Sometimes they run it from 31 to 40 without any stoppage. Whereas you might take on a listening test, they will run 31 to 35 and then take a pause. Then continue. There are some sections there are some listening tests to be taken. After 31, it will announce to you, before you hear the rest of the monologue, please take some time to read questions 36 to 40 to give you some. While the ones that won't announce this information to you will just
from 31 to
take
40.
a pause, a long pause. In fact, sometimes you feel the audio is no longer playing, it's deliberate. They want you to go through the remaining questions before they continue. Then the third type of section 4 will be the one that runs it from 31 straight
Without a pause.
without any pause. Then how do you manage your 31 to 40? That's your section 4. Once you are done with your section 3, Start reading from 36 to 40. Don't read the questions 31 to 40. I don't know if this is. Now, if you try to read the questions 31 to 40, by the time you get to 35, the audio will begin. And by the time the audio begins, you may not have time to realize or go through what is in 36 to 40. Now, what does this mean? By implication, you have no idea of what to meet in questions 36 to 40. Whereas, once you read from 31 to 40, as the audio begins, you still go back to 31 to catch up. But if you follow the strategy of reading 36 to 40 first, once you are reading from 36, by the time you get to the 40th question, the audio will begin, right? And you quickly go to 31. Now, there is a way to manage that because the audio sometimes gives long gists when it's written 31 to 35, and it's deliberate. That long gist is not meant to distract you. It's meant for you to buy time and also read the remaining questions. So if you are able to apply that approach, you'll be able to manage 31 to 40. But it requires you to reserve good energy because it can be long and sometimes tiring. Okay, so when you are treating 31 to 40, it's not a bad idea for you to scribble some possible answers on the question. You can scribble so that you'll be able to catch up with the pace of that last section. So these are everything you need to know about the sections of the listening test. It's an interesting one, but overall, I would want to advise that for you to do well in your listening test, you must give it your 101% concentration. 101% concentration. Please don't have anything short of this.
Even 100.
Not even 100. 101% concentration. People easily get distracted by themselves, not even the environment. Because you might be taking on a listening test, a business idea will just breeze into your mind, and you forget that you're taking the test. You start thinking about it.
In the example.
In the example, yes. Some people remember a very funny moment and they start smiling.